Hey everyone, so this is the mid-July garden tour. I thought I would do a quick tour. Everything is overgrown and needs to have a good prune back, so I'm going to do this tour, and then after the tour I'm going to do a hard prune back on everything. I garden in zone 8A now, and we actually had an early spring summer. You can see the coneflowers over here. So we're gonna take a tour, walk around this garden, rotate it all the way around. Sorry, I'm gonna move my finger so it doesn't zoom in on my finger. And then this is the newest, is the hammock trellis arch that we just put in a couple weeks ago, and we love it. The breeze is amazing over here. And then we will end with this corner over here, which is close to where the shed is. So I'm going to swing you back around. Sorry, I'm going to take it slow. So over here, everything is still the same. I haven't really done too much with the garden. The coneflowers are still over here. This is actually a mum that I put in the ground from the previous year, and it has got to be probably 2.5 feet tall. It doesn't bloom until, of course, when it's a little bit cooler, but it's really floppy with all the rain that we've had. You can see the center wants to just flop like everything else. So I'm not sure how to keep it from flopping. And then if you don't give it enough water, then it like really goes brown. So it looks healthy at the top, just kind of not doing well. And then you can see here my coneflowers. They are actually starting to look pretty bad. They are having seed heads on them. Look at this one right here. Just waiting for it to dry, and then I'll spread the seed head. But I think I'm going to come in and do a really hard prune back to see if I can get some more growth and possibly some more flowers. Because you can see underneath here, it is starting to flower again, but it's kind of gets shaded out with all these old growth. So we're going to come in and probably just give a good shaving of everything and see how well they do. So those are the coneflowers. I've got a butterfly, Miss Molly butterfly. She's doing great in here, but you can see she can actually get a lot bigger than this, but she's been suffocated out by everything else. I've got a coneflower here that looks like it's got some kind of disease, I think a fungus. It's causing it to grow all wonky. I thought I had gotten rid of it last year, but this one's coming out again. The calla lilies are still doing great, but you can see they are aging out. I'm going to show you in the fourth garden flower bed. I actually pruned it and cut it all the way back, and it's sending up new growth. And hopefully with the new growth comes new flower. But you can see right here, it's looking great. Still doing great. Got some white one in here as well. You can see down below, they're forming a seed pod down there. And then we are on to some more coneflowers, looking a little bit needy. This is the angel trumpet. It's doing great flowering. It is probably a good 5.5 feet tall. It's really liking its garden. And I've noticed from this year to last year, I've given it more water this year, and it's looking a lot better and healthier than last year. Last year it didn't do very well. These are all the flower head, and as you know, angel trumpet, they look like a big trumpet bell shape that comes down, and they smell great. So that is one of them. Sedum over here is flopping because of all the rain we've gotten. It's really hard to keep sedum in the ground. This is Sedum Autumn Joy, I believe. She gets to be about 3 feet high, 3 feet wide. She's starting to flower. And as you know, she is this chartreuse green color. Looks almost like a succulent cactus. And my daughter likes to touch it because it feels leathery. They're kind of fun to have. I really do enjoy the sedum. I just hate that it flops over and it gets almost root rot at the base because of how much humidity we have and the wetness. You can see the dew even is staying, and it's already like almost midday. We have had quite a bit of rain though, so I'm grateful for that. I don't have to water too much. These flowers, now that it's chartreuse green, it will turn into this beautiful mauve pinkish color, and it's really pretty. The Japanese maple is suffering. I'm not sure what's going on. The leaf isn't looking great, but it is sending out new leaf here. Really pretty. So I'm just going to let it do its thing. I got a double knockout rose. More coneflower. Now these ones are just blooming. You can see the vibrant color. Let me turn the camera. You can see the vibrant color from these new ones to those old ones. So you can see them. The difference in the color variation. Those one were just like this one. So those ones are the spent blooms. These are the new ones that are starting to bloom. Another angel trumpet. Got another Japanese maple over there. This is a peach tree that I grew from seedling. It's been in the ground for 2.5 years now. And this one had a couple fruit, but it dropped its fruit. More coneflower over here. And this bee enjoying itself. I did have some, I want to say bee balm right along here, but I did a really hard prune back, and then the grass overtook the bee balms and basically suffocate them. Here's a small little tiny bee balm, but it's been so wet we haven't actually gotten in here to mow or weed eat. Look at that guy, he's really enjoying himself. Got some more over there that's starting to bloom and grow. The coneflowers have been a main staple in this garden. I definitely highly recommend them if you don't have any. Easy to grow from seedling. You just got to make sure when you sprinkle the seeds that you don't have to contend with the grass. So this is the only problem I have, is I have it in the ground and the seed for the grass germinated into the garden bed. Now I'm struggling to try to get it out, so I just weed eat in here. And sometimes you have to be really careful because you weed eat the flower as well as the grass. So it's kind of a double whammo. Double knockout roses. I've got this hydrangea. This one I believe is the vanilla strawberry, but it is a panicle hydrangea. And due to all the rain, you can see here it used to stand up and it got really heavy and floppy. You can see how big one of them is. Let me see. I'm going to turn the camera around, and then that way you can see how big. Let me see. See how big it is from my head to the flower. So it's really big, and rain, it just basically flop over. It should stand upright like this, but you can see. And then the trunk, because it's so heavy, we try to stake it up, and it still leans. You can see I might have to come in because we have such a long summer in the garden. What I tend to do is cut back my hydrangeas, so then that way I get 2 flushes of bloom, and the second flush usually I get it to turn pinkish. You can see here it's going from white to brown because our our night temperature doesn't get cool enough, so they just go from white to brown. But if you cut it back soon enough, it'll send out another flush, and then that second flush will turn color because then we get to be a little bit cooler. So this one is the vanilla strawberry. I have the Pinky Winky in here. I've come to realize I don't really like Pinky Winky. It just looks messy and dirty. But you can see the difference between the Pinky Winky and just your regular panicle hydrangeas. The Pinky Winky, for some reason, attracts more pollinator. You can see all the little pollinators in the flower. Look at all those gnats and flies, and even this wasp. There's a ginormous fly right there. It's like a horse fly. So they attract more pollinators than just the regular panicle hydrangea. So if you do want pollinators, I would suggest the Pinky Winky. The sedum autumn joy, look at that flush of sedum. So it goes all the way to that end. That's my hedge over there. And this is a cutting of the hardy hibiscus, Midnight Marvel. You can see it's kind of being pushed over by this hydrangea because it's literally leaning over it. The calla lily over here is, of course, aging out. That's why I want to come in and just cut all of the perennials back, so that way they can send us a second flush. As always, the second flush may not be as amazing as the first flush, but I'd rather that than just to have all this spent plants, I guess. Hydrangea over here, I prune it back after it flower and sending out new flush. This is a reblooming one, so I do expect it to flower again. It's really pretty down here, not this one because it's aged out, but you can see over here, it doesn't, look at this one, it doesn't like sun, so I try to put it under this fig, but even then it still gets scorched. So the fig is doing great. Look at this fig, it looks like Cousin It. It is probably a good 8 feet tall, and it has sent a whole bunch of new growth down below, and you can see all the fig. Every stem has at least 10 to 12 figs on it. So if you guys want something that's really fruitful and prolific, definitely get a fig. I think this is the, I want to say, is it the turkey fig or something like that? They get probably a little bit bigger than a quarter size right here. So quarter meaning like if you look right here, the width of it. But it actually gets a little bit bigger, so I would say like maybe this big when it fully ripes. But it's doing great over here. I've got the peonies. Still, I don't know about the peonies. I left them in here as a filler, but I'm not really liking it. The foliage isn't doing anything for me, and it only flowers once. While it is beautiful, it only lasts for a week, so I'm thinking I might take them out. This is a beautiful Japanese maple. I love the leaf structure. Kind of reminds me of like a dainty feather-like plant. And it is chartreuse green color when it is new growth. Look at how beautiful it is. And it didn't do very well last year, so I'm hoping this fall time I'm going to get some beautiful colors on the Japanese maple. We'll see how it goes. This is a chase tree. It finished blooming and it produced seed heads, so I actually pruned it back quite hard, and you can see all the new growth. All the chartreuse green color is the new growth, and then with the new growth comes new flower. So I recommend if you have a chase tree, just prune it back so that way it can create new flowers for you. And as always, I don't know how, but the weed always grow bigger and taller than your plant. I'm not sure how this one got. Ugh. Well, let's see if I can get in there and finish getting that one. But how is it that a weed can get so big? Like, look at that. So crazy. And I even missed it. And then you can see here, here's my edge of sedum. It's doing great over here. Seems to like its spot, but eventually it will flop too because it's too hot, which it loves, but the humidity gets to it. So it's looking great. As long as I can keep Mother Nature from overwatering it, it will perform well. This chase tree though is really pretty. It can get up to 12 feet tall, and I think I'm going to prune it into a tree form. Right now you can see it's more of a bush form. It's probably 4 or 5 feet wide and 4 feet tall. But this is really the first year it's been in the ground. I planted in there last year from a cutting. You can see its growth is fast and it's very vigorous. So that's the first garden flower bed. We're off to the second one. This area over here, the Cleome has been amazing. I mean, she's taking off and is beautiful in the garden. And I've actually dug up some seedlings and transplant them throughout the flower bed. So I'm going to swing you around and you can see I put one right over there. There's one here. And then, of course, one right there. So it's doing great. It's about 5 feet tall, 3 feet wide. And the awesome thing about the Cleomes, they self-seed. Give them a spot and they'll grow for you. Every single flower over here It flowers from the base and then it keeps on growing, and each flower produces new seed pods. You can see all of these are seed pods. Like, it is prolific in its seed reproduction. So you can see all of these are seeds, seed pods. And let's see one that is fully ripened. So they drop themselves. This is one that's fully ripened and ready to go. So you just come in, if you want to save them, you just hold your hand to it and just pull, and all these seedling comes out. And those are seedlings, and they drop and then they multiply. So this area was really hard to weed eat. You can see the grass is a foot tall. Very hard to come in here and weed eat because the cleomes are in here, and it's hard to separate the plant. Most of the plants are in clusters. These ones are just long single stems, so if you aren't very careful, you actually come in and do what I did, which you whack the plant itself while trying to get the grass. So I left this bed kind of by itself, not worry about weed eating it, and just concentrate on the flowers above. So this is the cleome bed, along with a little bit of coleus that I plant in here. This Japanese maple, it's more of a fern-like structure. I love this structure of the Japanese maple. It did get scorched a little bit. I think we went to Florida for like 4 days and it didn't rain. And then coming back, it's literally rained every day. So it's pushing out and doing great. Minus the little tip burnt. I have another angel trumpet over here doing great. She's about 4 feet tall, matching the cleome. And then we've got more cone flowers. I did purchase a plant. What are these called? Black Eye Susan, I think, or something like that. She's really pretty. Struggling as I put her in the ground. But look at how big she got. Oh, this one's head is kind of snappy, so maybe I'll just remove her. But she's really pretty, and I enjoy this bright pop of flower in the garden. She's supposed to be perennial. She gets to, I think, 18 inches. I'm reverting back to inches now. But I think she's going to get to about 2 feet tall and 2 feet wide. So I kind of give her the space that she needs. Coneflower along with weed. And then this is my little bed of coleus that I plant. They're little big balls of coleus, which is great. This one over here, I can't remember what she's called, but she's spreading out. And I'm not sure if I like that. I like more of the structure habit of these coleus than that one. And then this is just, this is a plum tree, but it's more of ornamental. It doesn't really produce, but I love the color it brings. It's more of a burgundy. Kind of reminds me of like a red Japanese maple in the garden. Very structured, creates a good focal point in the garden. This is the white Japanese magnolia. I think it's called star magnolia. It's the white one, and it's really pretty. But the foliage is doing great. It only flowers once a year, springtime. I've got a couple of different hardy hibiscus. This is just a pink one, and it's really pretty. I'm sorry, I don't know the name, but it is a hardy hibiscus. Red Midnight Marvel, doing great. You can see it's getting eaten. I treated a couple of them, but it's kind of hard to treat them because the pollinators are out and doing their thing. Well, it makes the leaf look a little yucky. It's not really harming the flower. So if it doesn't get too bad, which it does look bad, but at least it's pushing new growth at the base. So I'm not going to worry about it. This one I got from a friend. This white one is really pretty with the dark kind of maroon red center. That's really gorgeous. Look at that. And the leaf structure is a little bit matching of the hardy hibiscus, the Midnight Marvel. You can see the leaf structure kind of mirrors each other. So that's kind of nice in the garden. She'll be really pretty once she actually has more blooms. Look at all this bloom up here. But Hardy hibiscus, they only bloom. Their bloom lasts one day, but you can see they continuously send out new blooms, so you're going to continuously have flower as long as you don't let them dry out. The hydrangeas are great. They're coming out in full force right now, and I love that they create such a pop in the garden. The only thing is, if you don't water them enough, they will go brown on you like really quickly. I'll show you one that didn't get enough water while we were gone, and it literally just went brown. More coleus, salvia. I love the salvia. It's a bluish, purplish color. It's hard to figure out the actual color of this plant. I say it's more blue, but sometimes it looks purple. Pollinators love it. Got a couple coneflower in here. Got to come in, of course, and weed eat. Rudbeckia, again, my black eye Susan. And then this is the mature Midnight Marvel hardy hibiscus. You can see it gets to be 5 feet high and about almost 6 feet wide right now because it flopped during some of the rainstorms we've had. I usually come in and I deadhead. If you don't deadhead, it doesn't necessarily need to be deadhead, but it does form seed pods, which may take energy away from the flower and the production of the flower. So I do spend a little bit of time and I come in and deadhead. You can see here's this one right here that has dropped its flower and now it's producing a seed pod. See right there? So I come in and I usually just snap it right off and just let it drop. If you don't deadhead, what it does is it drops the flower on its own, but when it drops, it creates like a moldy mildew on the leaves, and then it kind of damages the leaves and the branches. So if you don't come and remove it, it gets this like yucky, messy thing that I don't really like. And sometimes if it falls on a flower, the flower sometimes doesn't open correctly. So I would recommend going in and deadhead them, but you don't have to. It's really not necessary. It's just whether you like that messy look or not. But isn't she beautiful? She's so stunning in the garden, and the color just pop. I actually created a hedge of it on the side of the road this year, and they're about maybe 6 inch to a foot tall. Definitely not 5 feet wide and 5 feet high yet, but eventually it will get there. This archway, you can see Eden is still struggling, but I didn't expect her to do much. This is the white Eden. She does give me sporadic flowers here and there, but the black spot is still very prolific. Just kind of left her alone, let her do her thing, and hopefully when it gets cooler, she'll flush out again. Clematis, I am not sure what the color, the variety. She has not bloomed for me. But you can see she is taking over this trellis like Cousin It. And I've got a sedum over here. The sedum is there to kind of create the shade. I've read and done a little bit of homework, I guess, and someone told me that the clematis doesn't like its feet to be in the sun, so that's part of why I planted this sedum here to help cover that sun. And then just let it grow. You can see underneath it's not doing very well. Some of the branches are kind of dying back, but I'm hoping that this is the flower that is going to bloom right here. So it looks like I might have quite a bit of flower comes fall time. So this one might be a later bloom clematis. And then flanking it on the other side, kind of the same repeat. I have the hardy hibiscus, Midnight Marvel. So when I come in and I deadhead, you can see over here, here's a spent flower. This was from yesterday. And see how they just kind of close up. I just come in and I snap it off. And then I throw it in the ground, let it decompose on its own. Otherwise, if you don't, it just falls and lays on your flower and then creates a mess. So I come in and I do that. The back trees are doing great. Next year we are hopeful that we have enough funds to get an excavator, and then we're going to grade the land and then create a spot for the orchard and then pop all of these fruit trees out of here. So the bed is going to get a complete kind of makeover, because the excavator is going to be really big, and we're going to come in and just scoop the root ball out, and it's going to have to be replaced. So everything around it's going to have to be replaced. So we'll see how that goes. Miss Molly is doing great, and so is the weed inside of it. So I don't know, sometimes I hate it that you can't grab the whole weed. Miss Molly is doing good. More butterfly bushes. These ones are more compact. I'm not sure if I really like it. I don't like looking at all the spent blooms on this one. Miss Molly, for some reason, I don't mind seeing her spent bloom. And sometimes I'll take the time to come in and deadhead it. But for some reason, these ones, I don't know why. I'm not sure if I'm liking it. So we'll see. I planted 3 of them right here, all grown from cutting, and they're doing well. It looks like they get to about 2 feet by 2 feet, so it's more small and compact than Miss Molly. Miss Molly can get massive. The roses in the back, got the star magnolia over there, more fruit tree. This is a peach tree grown from seed. It's doing good, but you can see here it's starting to get the leaf curl. I haven't treated it. I don't think I will. It doesn't have any fruit or anything on it, so I don't think it's going to do too much. But next year we'll come in and treat it before it leaves out again. Japanese maple. I still have some gladiola leaves that are growing, but I cut back all of the flowers on it. I think there was still a couple, like right there, that I need to come in and deadhead. I like to get it all pruned back and kind of reclean this bed. Like I said, after this video showing the garden, with the garden tour, I'm going to come in and basically kind of cut everything back, reshape, reprune, and then see where we go from there. Everything is kind of looking spent, like here, except for the weeds. The weeds always seem to know how to grow and thrive and survive. Got some of verbena in here. More mum that is leaning over and stretching out. I just don't know how to prevent it from doing this. I'm not sure what's going on. The leaf is looking great though. It seems to be enjoying it. But there's another mum right underneath Miss Molly. Got some more coleus. This is vermilionaire. It's doing great. I love vermilionaire because it attracts the butterfly, and they love this plant. Oh, it looks like it's also attracting some Japanese maple. I've been faithfully coming out and killing them. I just put them in the ground and then I squish them. But I usually use the water and soap in a jug and then just tap them in there, and then they eventually die. This is some kind of lily. I can't remember what the name of it, like a spider lily or something like that. Really pretty when it's flowering, but right now it's not. I'm not sure if I really like the leaf structure over there. I've got another fig tree right there, and then hydrangea, panicle hydrangea. I think I'm going to have to swing you guys around this garden bed because it's so full. On the other side, I've got the herd of elephant over there, as someone brought to my attention when I created, and we actually divided the elephant ear, and then I created a whole herd of elephants. So that's where the herd of elephant is, and it looks like they almost need to be divided again. Ooh, garden is a never-ending project, I guess. Coleus is doing good. Just got to make sure they get lots of water. These 2 tree bush form is the pomegranate, and they actually had some flowers on them, but none of the flowers set, so they dropped. So no fruit this year. I have another peony here, some more gladiolas. More roses. This rose I think I'm going to just pull out. It's not doing anything for me. And it is your garden, so do what you want in your garden. and what pleases you. So this rose, it's a yellow rose. It's a miniature yellow rose, but it's just not doing anything for me. I definitely like the bigger one. So this is the pink hardy hibiscus. Look how beautiful she is. Isn't that a stunning flower? And I came in here and I deadhead. So when I deadhead, I just drop it into the ground, and then it does look a little bit messy, but when your bed is more full, it hides all that. The cleome over here is doing good. I got a new coneflower. It actually, I don't remember, I got it at Home Depot. It didn't really have a tag on it, so it's just an orange color, kind of reddish orange. It's really pretty, kind of reminds me of like a sunset color. Need some sunlight. More mums that I propagated and is growing. Coleus, butterfly bush. And of course these are more peach tree. These ones are doing good. Planted almost in the same flower bed, but those guys have more leaf curl issue. Sorry, I'm going to swing the camera around again. And these guys don't have any issues with that. More coneflower. I did plant a little cutting of a Rose of Sharon right there, variegated Rose of Sharon. This is my hibiscus. I believe this is the Texas Star that I got from seedling or cutting from my sister in Texas. And it seems to be doing good. I'm waiting for the flower, and then I'll show you guys the Texas Star hardy hibiscus. The canna lily over here is literally overtaking the tree. They are now almost as tall as the tree, and this is the first year it's in. I do not know the variety, as this was reseeded from a plant swap. We have a I guess a mutual friend who does plant swap, and it's kind of cool. You can either sell your plants or you swap what you have for something that somebody else have, see if they want. So it's kind of cool just to, you know, see what you have and see what you want and see what others have. And then you trade plants. So that's a great idea. But this is one of them that I got, and it's tall and massive. It is overtaking the Japanese magnolia, this one right here. So I think I'm gonna have to cut it back, dig up the corms or the little root ball or bulbs that they're in, and then retransplant them somewhere else. Got more calla lilies, more coneflowers. You can see I repeat coneflowers in the garden just because they are great to have in the garden, and they're cheap and easily come with seeds. This is the mother plant of all of these salvias that I propagated. With all the rain, you can see she's kind of floppy. I don't really want to come in and cut because you can see all the pollinators are still all over it. So I don't want to take away their food source. But it does kind of look a little bit messy. It's kind of floppy, but still pretty. The cleome is doing great. It is taking over this whole entire bed almost. The calla lilies is spent over here. I got this basil, and you can see it is going to town. It's loving this spot over here, and it's almost creating these seed heads. So, oh, and it looks like something is eating it and pooping it. Ugh, it's so annoying. I guess that's a life cycle. So if you don't want it to spend so much energy into the flower, you just come in and pinch it off. The pollinators do love the basil, so if you aren't really using it, they do create some kind of flower, and the pollinators are really enjoying it. So I would say let it go if you're not using it. Otherwise, come and pinch it off. And to pinch it off, it's pretty easy. You just come in wherever there's a node, you just come in and just pinch it off like this, and then throw it back in the ground and let it do its thing. And then right here where you pinch is going to create new branching. So you have two, and then you get rid of one and you get two. So it's like two for the price of one. More coneflowers doing great, intermixed with coleus. this coneflower here, it's got that fungus issue. That's why it's growing all funky right here, and it's like a lime green chartreuse color as opposed to a white. Got two baby hardy hibiscus. This one here, this is more of a rouge. I love the way this looks. When you come in, if you look at this flower, look at it. It's like a ruffly pink, hot pink, Barbie pink color, and it's really pretty, and it's getting eaten. But that one's really pretty. I really like it. And then, of course, this other one is getting eaten too. Over there is the panicle hydrangea, doing great over there. Apple tree, double knockout roses. Double knockout roses, you guys, main staple in the garden. Bloom from beginning of spring all the way until now without any major issues, so I'm loving it. So this is what the garden flower bed looks like if you just pan around. Oh, I forgot the middle. Okay, let me go to this one and then we'll go to the middle. So over here, we finally put in the cow panel just so I can trellis up the Eden climber. I started her right here, so we finally got her staked in and she's climbing up very nicely. I also have a grapevine over here that was in a pot, is still in a pot, but she has actually rooted through the pot and I can't even move this, so we're gonna wait for the excavator and then come in and just dig her out and create a new area for her. It looks like one little thing fell. I'm gonna just let that grow. So I'm gonna just let the grapevine grow just on this side of the trellis, and then she can hang over here. I mean, that's the thought. Now, she's probably gonna grow and climb however she wants to. I just don't want her to endanger my Eden climber. Oh, that's my mother-in-law. She's cleaning the porch for me. So I'm gonna train her up, climb all the way and over, and then eventually down. I'm not sure if she'll reach because this span is quite larger than the other one, and the other one didn't make it all the way through. Granny Smith apple, still giving us apple. Almost way too much apple. We're not able to eat as much, and I could freeze it or puree it or make applesauce out of it, but I am a beginner homesteader. I'll grow the fruit, but I wish I had the knowledge and the capacity and the time it takes to preserve all the fruits. So for now, we do enjoy it just fresh, and it does drop. You can see those ones that drop on the ground, and we just need a compost area that we can put them in. The dogs really enjoy it too. Seed them, doing great, but you can see getting floppy again. See right there? When they flop, they kind of just like, I don't know, they create a mess. So we'll see how that goes with all the rain we had. Phlox is doing good. Coleus, sedum. Miranda Lambert is randomly growing these tall branches, which I might like better because then, you know, you can see her above everything that's growing underneath. So I might keep her and train her into a multi-trunk tree form if she will take. You can see right here is a flower there, and then all these new buds are coming out. So she's doing great. She also stressed with black spots, but it looks like she's outgrowing the black spots. This new stem doesn't have any black spots on it, and you can see this ladybug is climbing up. Hopefully it's going to eat all the aphids on them. Sedum, Miss Molly. This is the beautiful Double Delight rose. Got more coneflowers, coleus, hardy hibiscus. I think this is Jane or Anne Japanese magnolia. I want to train her into a tree form, but right now she's in a bush form. Butterfly bush. Oh, look at this beautiful butterfly. Oh, I want to say, look at this beautiful butterfly on the coneflower. Yeah, she doesn't want to stay long enough for me to take a picture. But look at this picture. Isn't that very picturesque? So beautiful. Sorry, my hand is starting to shake by holding this so long. Look how pretty that is. And the sun is just coming out again. That bumblebee is really wanting that flower. So over here, everything is pretty mature. I've got Julia Child. She's stressing out too, but still has a couple flowers on it. I don't think she's getting enough air, but as you can see, everything is just meshed in here. The abutilon is doing great in this spot. Look at this abutilon. It's opening all the way. Most of the time they don't open, they stay in the lantern shape. But you can see over here, a lot of them are opening up. So that's the abutilon, the red variety. We've got, oh gosh, what do you call this? Milkweed. It's red and orange milkweed. I've got another hardy hibiscus over there. This is the ruche Barbie doll color looking one. She's really pretty. And of course there's one spent one. Let me go in and grab it and deadhead her. You could see how big that other one is. Look at that one in the back. I think this is the Rock and the Blue Salvia. It's like 4 feet tall. Sedum is doing good. Over here is where I cut this huge, big calla lily. Hi, Sky. This is Sky. Such a good girl. Abutilon. She is doing good over here. I can't believe how big she's gotten. Look how pretty she is. I love this abutilon. Somebody says they are native of Brazil, so that's good to know. Glad for all my viewers. They give me, everybody, I mean, out there, people are watching and everyone has a wealth of knowledge. I love how they share information. This is Cathedral Bell, grown from a cutting. She's doing great in this corner. More coneflower. This is a pineapple sage of more of a chartreuse color. She smells amazing. Coming around this corner, you've got the Cleome. She's going to need a bigger spot. I just kind of plant things here as their baby, and then when they age, they get so big, it's hard to keep them in check. Double knockout roses. Oh, here, let me show you this one. Look how beautiful this one is. Ta-da! All ruffly and pink. Like, if this is not a Barbie doll color and flower, I don't know what is. She's so beautiful, very stunning, and of course, 4 feet high, 5 feet wide. And then just kind of looping you back on the back side of this area. And we are back underneath this archway, and then we'll head to the center garden. This is the center garden. The black tulip magnolia is doing great. It actually gave me a couple flowers just a couple weeks back at the very tip. Hard to see all the way up there, but it has actually grown a little bit. It is now probably almost 12 feet tall, and it's supposed to get, I mean, the spec says it's going to get 30 feet tall, 20 feet wide, which if it does, that would be amazing. It will fill up this entire garden. But I don't think it will, so we'll see, and we'll prune it back and trim it back and see how it does. In the center flower bed, I've got the pineapple sage, more coneflower. I really like this coneflower. It's really unique and really ruffly. Can't remember the name of it, but these are the spent one. The only thing about these guys, they don't actually create too much seed to repropagate. So you can divide them. So I might go in and redivide them. You can see how it's wet, so it's kind of getting yucky underneath, but new ones are coming out. These are new ones. These are spent one, and these are aged, like prime ones. Way different than the really just the simple coneflower that a lot of the pollinators like, because it creates more pollen for them, so they love it. So Coleus, Julia Child over here is doing great. I say great, but I know those of you in the Midwest can grow roses because you don't have the hot humidity that gives them the black spot. But anytime I have flower on the roses, I will take more cone flowers, butterfly bush. This one is doing good. This Double Delight over here. She is really pretty and really beautiful. And I planted this Cleome in here because I was like, oh, I have a spare spot. And you can see she's literally wanting to take over the entire garden. Look at how big she got. And I actually trimmed her back because she was encroaching on this coneflower and this rose. So over here I had to come in and hard prune her in a couple places. But you can see she's doing great in this garden. Swinging around, I've got Miranda Lambert, doing good. I purchased this new yellow coneflower because I didn't really have any yellow. It's mainly just been pink and white. So, you know, I'm going to try to spice it up. Got some yellow and I got that orange over there. I had a sedum right here and it got really floppy. Like right here, this is where all the root system was, and you can see they got rotted out. So I just kind of came in and just took it all out. It's good because it's giving this coneflower a couple sun. Sorry I'm talking kind of fast. I only have 10 minutes before I run out of space on this phone. The Cathedral Bell, I gave her a hard pruning. She got really big and massive. She's still probably one of my favorite roses with the smell and the way she looked. Very regal. I love it. Limelight Hydrangea. One of them, I can't tell the difference, again, sorry, between Limelight and Limelight Prime and, you know, all of those different varieties of Limelight. I just know they're panicle hydrangeas, and I love them. So this one is a little bit more late bloom. That's why you see they're a little bit spinted and they're more chartreuse green. You can see once they open up, they kind of turn a little bit brighter and lighter and eventually becomes all white. So pretty. I love it. And I think that's going to be it to end our garden tour. Everything is doing great, but like I said, it's getting to the point where we're midsummer and I've had a long season of flower and I love everything in the garden. But I think it's time to prune a couple things back that are a little bit more needing extra attention, like these coneflowers. I think we're going to come back, prune them all back. Or at least prune the ones that are spent. Like I said, these ones are spent. These ones are new ones. So I'm not removing all of the food source for the pollinators and the plants. But just, you know, that way I can have consecutive plantings going on. So remove this while those ones are in bloom. And then hopefully this will come up with a second push of flowers. And then that way it's a continuous feeding for all the pollinators until we reach wintertime. Look at this little tiny butterfly. Oh, she flew away. All right. So anyways, that is the garden tour for mid-July. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Look, Bluxom, all the dogs love to be underneath that canopy over there. It creates shade, and you got the grass, which cools it down, and it's really humid today with the dew still on the grass. So it's really cool for them. And this is the garden. Thank you so much for watching. Look, this is what the dogs do. Look, if I create a clean spot, they come in and they lay on my plant. There's like a massive sedum right here, and she just comes and lays right on it. So I've got to put stakes where new plants are. And there they are, another one. Yes, I know, I see you, huh? So this is the garden tour. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.